Hey there, I'm Dad, and welcome to another installment of Rollercoaster Tycoon Speedrunning Tips. Today's video will be covering the most essential technique to improving your speed, hotkeys. Hotkeys are mapped buttons on your keyboard or mouse that allow you to quickly navigate menus without having to lose time on mouse drag to a button on the toolbar. Now, I'm certain that most folks who play casually have stumbled upon useful hotkeys for their play and gradually integrate them into their general playstyle. They can be a very convenient way to build your park in a tight manner. However, in speedruns, hotkeys are essential to truly unlocking your personal best times. Please note, however, that the positioning of your hotkeys is entirely up to you and what feels most natural to play. The hotkeys I utilize may not be the most comfortable for you, and that's okay. The goal of this video is to shed light on key hotkeys you should be using. I will cover the following in this video, and a table of contents will be available in the description. The most used hotkeys, scenario-specific hotkeys, administrative hotkeys, and my personal setup. Not all hotkeys are created equally, and what I mean by that is there are some hotkeys you will wear out on your keyboard much faster than others. These are hotkeys that are primary to just about every single IL or full game category that you would run and must be placed in convenient locations for you. The most used hotkeys are as follows: build ride, build path, finance menu, staff menu, ride list, close all windows, and speed keys. Now, to provide some insight on why these are crucial, outside of the fact you'll use them in every scenario, I'll provide some detail on why they are useful as well. Build ride. This should be a no-brainer. Building rides is crucial to achieving a scenario goal. What good is the theme park anyway if it doesn't have any rides? Hotkeying the build ride menu will save you time when you're aiming to either build a custom ride at the start of a scenario, or if you're looking to quickly spam rides in a park prior to a fast-forward push. I currently have this bound to R. Build path. Guests need to be able to get to rides, or else they will simply leave the park and leave your chances of scenario completion in shambles. This hotkey is crucial in being able to quickly fix pathing issues for guests, but also when you're creating custom pathing for custom-built rides, saving immense amount of time when spamming because you're able to save this path with the ride itself. I currently have this bound to E. Finance menu. Taking out loans is almost guaranteed in any scenario that allows you to do so, or if you're paying them back for other scenarios. However, the finance menu's real utilization is in advertising. Advertising puts your guest generation on steroids, and in many cases is the most crucial part of running a scenario, as in longer runs, you'll have to re-up ads multiple times. I currently have this one bound to F. Staff menu. Tidy pathways and working rides are a must if you're looking to speedrun longer scenarios, as a dirty park is going to force guests to leave, and broken down rides will give guests nothing to do except leave. While the amount of staff you need varies by scenario, the ability to quickly bring up the menu can save runs. I currently have this bound to 5. Ride list. The ride list is incredibly useful when you're spamming rides in a scenario. The list brings up every single ride that's built in your park and allows you to open them all at once. This is particularly useful when spamming rides, as it saves several clicks and mouse drag time from opening rides one by one. I currently have this bound to 4. Close all windows. Sometimes menu positioning is everything. You will notice as you run, or even play the game, that when you have a menu open and try to open a new menu, it may open in a different location than usual. While in casual play it doesn't really matter much, when speedrunning, the consistency of location for these menus can help develop muscle memory in sequences of intense menuing. Thus, I bind a Close All Windows button and use it frequently to ensure that when I open a menu, it will open where I'm expecting it to, and not another location. I have this bound to Q. Fast forward percent wouldn't quite live up to its name if you weren't able to engage hyperspeed at a moment's notice. The hotkeys for fast forward, slow down, and pause are essential for runs. This trio is important in providing you the opportunity to begin fast forwarding to accumulate guests quickly, slow down when you need to build something to prevent guests leaving, or pause when you need to make changes to finances or any other reason. I've bound these to tilde, 1, and 2. These are all the most crucial hotkeys that we use in just about every scenario. I highly suggest you rebind these keys in locations that are easy for you to reach and require little movement, as you're going to be using them a whole heck of a lot. Scenario-specific keys. Some hotkeys are very handy to have in certain scenarios because of unique circumstances. Whether it's terrain, scenery, pathing, or any combination of the like, additional keys in easy-to-reach locations are useful. Other scenario-specific hotkeys to consider are Park Information, Delete Scenery, Research, and Land. Park Information. This particular menu serves two major functions: increasing your park entrance fee and opening the park. In some scenarios, the park is closed at the beginning, and being able to quickly press this hotkey will allow you to open the park quickly. It's important to note that all scenarios start on the scenario goal screen, but if you press the park info hotkey at the start of the scenario, it'll open to the menu with the open and close buttons, saving about a second or two. Also, increasing the park entrance fee is handy in scenarios like Fungus Woods, where you do not have ride ticket prices, nor enough money to build all the rides you need in the current meta. I have this bound to T. Delete scenery. This scenario-specific hotkey allows you to eliminate all scenery or pathing just by clicking and dragging. Clicking in the middle of the grid box will allow you to type in an integer up to 64 to create a larger spread, eliminating scenery faster. However, be careful with this tool, as deleting scenery costs money, but deleting path gives you money back. In a scenario like Amity Airfield, deleting all path provides you a lot of money to work with, while in Fungus Woods, deleting scenery, while necessary, drains your finances. I have this bound to B. Research. Research can be crucial in some scenarios where you may not have the type of ride needed for fast completion on your ride list. Crazy Castle, for instance, utilizes looping coasters as a means of spamming rides to completion, but they're not readily available at the beginning of the scenario and must be researched. Binding this close will allow you to open the menu at the very start of the run and fast forward research until you get the ride needed. I have this bound to D. Land. While this is not needed quite as much, there are some scenarios where it is utilized, like Lucky Lake, Extreme Heights, and Fungus Woods. The land hotkey allows you to change the elevation of terrain, and in most cases is used to make swaths of flat land susceptible to spammed rides. Very situational in nature, it is essential to optimize speeds in certain runs. I have this bound to F1. Administrative hotkeys. This is more of an honorable mention, but I wanted to give a shout out to the Autosplitter setting in LiveSplit, which basically eliminates the need to utilize a hotkey at all. Thanks to Anna and the community for checking each open RCT2 update to make sure this works. What Autosplitter does is start a timer when you enter a scenario and stop it when the completion screen appears. This saves you the distraction of clicking at the start and finish of a run, but also eases the mod's job of having to verify wildly timed runs. When you open LiveSplit, right-click on the timer, go to Edit Splits. Under the Game Name tab, type in Rollercoaster Tycoon 1 or 2, whichever game you're running. Once selected, look down 3 rows and activate the Autosplitter. Select OK, and you're off. You'll now notice that your timers start upon clicking a scenario and end when completing. Do note that I still advise setting up a hotkey to reset your timer, as it won't automatically reset after completing a scenario. The positioning for this does not matter, preferably somewhere far away that you won't accidentally click it. Lastly, I want to show an image of what my current setup looks like on a keyboard. You'll notice that most of the crucial keys are close together around my left hand, and scenario-specific keys aren't that far off. Some of my buttons, such as delete scenery, are far away, but I like this position as my thumb is usually free to stretch for a press. Now, I want to iterate that there is no best hotkey positioning. It's entirely up to personal preference. So find a setup that works best for you. This one just works best for me at the moment. Thanks again for tuning in to another tips and tricks guide to speedrunning Rollercoaster Tycoon. It's been so much fun to see its community expand the past week, and I hope that this growth continues. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, or you can reach out to me in the Discord channel for the Rollercoaster Tycoon Speedrun community. Thanks!